I like it already. I do. That shit is fire! What are you on about? Okay, so today we've got the new album, the first in about 3 years, from Meek Mill called Expensive Pain. Throughout the last few years, I've kind of been up and down with a lot of Meek Mill's music. I used to love some of the early Dream Chasers mixtapes. But then when it came to albums like Dreams Worth More Than Money and Wins and Losses, I kind of started to lose interest. But I think his last album, Championships, was a return to form for Meek. So the new album has some very interesting features, in fact. I believe I've heard 2 or 3 of these songs already that previously dropped, but we'll just go straight into it. First song is Intro, Hate on Me.
Every time I get back in the street, this shit get darker. Niggas say hate on me now. Richard, I really got off. The 7 on 7, and I'm getting better and better and better. My niggas never no pressure.
This nigga's flowing, what the fuck? This beat is fire as well, you know. It feels like a Metro Boomin beat made for 21 Savage. This nigga is spitting. He actually is. Nigga gonna die in the streets so we can't even beef him and die on all fours, and the bitch ass rat keep talking that shit like he can't get blitzed and die on the tour. Is that popcorn? Popcorn.
I was like UK, bought like 2K, out of my down little do-rag. She said you ain't gonna do it, we go out the country having a 3-way.
I've never heard it's very rare that you get an intro track this high energy and just laying down a marker for the rest of the album. Like, this intro alone already has me more excited than I was before going into this album. That was an extremely, extremely strong intro song. Okay, so next song is Outside 100 Miles an Hour.
I woke up, I made a meal and fucking rented them all. If life's a bitch, I'm having my way with that shit in the beard and raw. And he called me for a fit.
He's really running with these creepy, dark, fat beats.
She said, me come fuck me rough and I'm trying to break a spot. No, this little bitch fuck my dog and I can't make it mine. Outside, I just popped out, came back outside. Reaching for my Richie, you go.
Even, like, you know, 1.5 songs in, what he's done already, more so than the last few albums, is that he's really, really, like, using his voice, not just flowing and, you know, obviously Meek Mill's very, very high energy. That's one of his things. But, like, he's changing his inflection. He's contorting and straining his voice in different ways. I think it's quite cool.
Give me that cash away. Okay.
Another beat.
Okay. Go ahead, be like a brick. Bad little bitch, she dick. Come in my city, we really ride dirty on lights and we turn us. Part of my bitch, part of my glass, part of my hip, I just jump over here, I got a part of my shit. I did the walk door right next to the left, I was for a new partnership. Here we open it up, my foot from the back, I'm choking her out.
What the fuck?
Somebody get hit, it's no getting up. Walk in the spot with a big ass 30 on me, get fucked, this poking the what?
Oh my, do you know what? I wasn't expecting this shit to be this good. Meek Mill is not fucking playing around. So strong. Oh man, we've had 4 different beats in 2 songs. Okay, the next song is On My Soul.
Sitting in the phantom, coming in the sun.
Oh.
Everybody in my hood on one. Can't know I got it on. Put it on my soul. Put it on my soul. There ain't nothing that I can't hold. Getting everything I aim for. Around me, and they dangerous. Different color riches and the bitch Power Rangers.
I mean, this is Meek Mill doing Young Thug karaoke, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm getting everything. Bulletproof range, bro. Don't let the rain go. Crazy all this shit that I attain.
Oh, it was quite short. You know what I really like? I wasn't expecting that sound. We had live pianos and bass and guitars. It was really rich and full. Meek Mill, of course, that song was very, very clearly influenced by Young Thug, but I thought he kind of started to take it in his own direction. I thought it was quite cool. Okay, so the next song is Sharing Locations with Baby and Dirk, which I've already heard. So I'll go to the next song, which is the title track, Expensive Pain.
I'm bringing real niggas home, shit, I'm the realest, it's official. Yeah, when I my shop stressing, I get bored, might spend $1 million, that shit tickle. On the through at me and slow, he called L's and we both people. Time bomb, niggas ticking me off. Look at the skyline from the penthouse, like what? This
beat is so interesting because there's like pockets in the beat where you'd imagine where you start to bop your head, but they're kind of subverting that, and I quite like that. But in terms of the lyrics as well, I guess the concept of expensive pain is that, you know, no matter how much wealth and, you know, cars and jewelry and women or bitches that you accumulate, it doesn't really fix the things that actually fucked up in your life. It's just like a mask.
Niggas being nice, but we don't be in y'all business. See how you think we always end up being in y'all bitches? This is my name, very hard, and money and gold. Remain humble around my people, the songs spoil my soul.
I keep my name worth more than money and gold. I really like that idea. The idea that you focus your career on the art and the music that you leave behind rather than the physical things that you left behind.
And they love it clearly. Used to fit 80 in them pockets, now we double married. Cause I just cook the coloring up like I know culinary.
So that was like, instrumentally and thematically quite similar to On My Soul. I thought that beat was really, really interesting because it kind of was like off kilter and you weren't quite sure where to nod your head. And again, Meek Mill is changing up his voice. He has so many different inflections and flows, more so than I think I've ever heard him before. Okay, the next song, we have got a feature. This is Ride For You with Kalani. I'm really mellowed out already.
Driving on the highway, kinda with the views out in soon on the flyway. Fucking you from Monday all the way to Friday.
Why not Sunday?
Pray your heart always keeps. No, I'm right for you, baby. Right for you, baby.
Okay, I think that song was probably the first one that hasn't excited me in some kind of way. It was a pretty standard by the numbers R&B/rap love song. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but I don't think it really stands out either. Okay, so this next song, we also have another feature. It's Me, FWM with A$AP Ferg. I like it already, I do. That shit is fire, what are you on about?
Flew her out on the first flight, got that pussy the first night. Niggas say it's more than this on sight. Can't need bands up and fuck my hands up. I was in Paris, I paid for the drink, my hands up.
Do you know what, these, I fucking love these kind of beats because they utilize space and silence so fucking beautifully. And I also need to find out who the fuck produced this. Of course, it's that nigga Boy Wonder.
Set up Paris on, I put it on her face. Niggas ain't fucking with me, niggas ain't fucking with me. Niggas ain't fucking with me, niggas ain't fucking with me. I don't know what the game is, fucking free. You call her phone, I call her phone.
Dominican, slim with the buzz, cinnamon, bring out the cake like Enemans.
Oh, this nigga is so hilarious.
Know what I make look like I used to pop up. Turning shots as if them coppers try to pop us. Here goes to that John and Vinny's, had some pasta with some lobster. Pussy poppin' like why you acting like a hoe? Like a hoe. Why you
Acting like a hoop, like a hoop.
your eyes up on my dope, on my dope.
Niggas ain't fucking with me, niggas ain't fucking with me.
Niggas ain't fucking with me, niggas ain't fucking with me. I knew as soon as that piano came in, as soon as that loop came around one time, I knew this beat was gonna be fucking fire. I love those guys. You know, I have a strange affinity for like, you know, like horror film sounding trap songs. That's why I love like 21 Savage so much. But that was so like minimal, and like you have to be such a brave producer to have like a whole significant section of your song where it's essentially just hi-hats and that's it. I think that takes such skill and willingness to take risks, and that's why Boy Wonder is one of the GOATs. A$AP Ferg went in, Meek Mill did his thing. That was maybe my favorite one so far. Okay, next song is Hot with Moneybagg Yo.
I ain't even gonna lie, man, I've been on some shit lately.
Whistle.
For real.
Flute.
I went with a spot. I got what it takes to get to the top. The money I make, you niggas cannot compete. They got
I'm not gonna lie, Meek's beat selection so far has been absolutely superb. Why is this shit so good? What the fuck?
Really order my heel, pull up and hop out the whip to a lot of eyes. I put this shit on for real, mixing top dollar designer with joint five.
But I never read, because I haven't actually listened to that much Moneybagg Yo, but like the quality of his voice is really similar to Kevin Gates.
I like that. I'm on Chris, go. I told my nigga to move a little smooth. Why he crazy towards the feds? I'm in DC with a red skin.
You know, the consistency of this album is way, way above anything that I'd expected, and you know, I'm genuinely pleasantly surprised. The next song is Love Train.
Yeah. I seen so many niggas switching, I had to cut them off. And you ain't got to talk behind my back, you know my number, call me. So I heard they said I wasn't feeding the team.
There's no way that is Meek. Apparently it is. Like I said a few songs ago, he's really, really pushing himself to use his voice, like his actual voice.
And when niggas tell me you was fucking, no, I couldn't believe it. I tried to give you all my blessings, but you couldn't receive it, cause you was listening to people that was listening to people. I mean, shit been rapping my ego.
I mean, he does, you know, on this album, he does have Baby and Dirk, and this sound does sound like an amalgamation of the two. But again, it sounds really good.
I seen everybody cheating on me about some money. Love to get rich, came home, niggas acting funny, I can't cut. I ain't walking. I seen so many niggas switching, I had to cut them off. So many bitches acting.
I like that, you know, he said, I seen so many niggas switching, I had to cut him off, just as he cut himself off and he switched his voice up.
You was jealous, I just wouldn't believe.
It's really good.
And when niggas tell me you was fucking, I couldn't believe it.
Do you know what this song feels like to me? It feels like Meek Mill is the feature on his own song.
Ain't worth the same thing, but it's gonna shine when the lights hit it. A little blank blank. You add some diamonds to it, get a little shot into it. I'm in the studio all night, shit, I'm like, what do you mean? Shit all night, some probably fighting like we living a dream. Remember we said we wouldn't let these bitches get in between.
Oh man, that song was so good. That song had no right being as good as it was. Again, you can hear the people that he's been listening to and the influences that he's taken are pretty strong, but I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that as long as you're making it your own. And I think he is doing that on, well, not even just on this song, but on this album. This song particularly, it was, again, a bit like the one with Kalani, a rap / trap / R&B breakup song, but I thought it was explored way more interestingly on Love Train. And also what I'm noticing about this album now is that I was going into this album thinking that I'm gonna be able to expect and kind of know what the next song is gonna sound like, because I hate when albums do that, where you finish a song, I'm like, okay, cool, next song is just more of the same. But now, what, about halfway in, I genuinely don't know what the next song is gonna sound like, and that's a good thing. And I really don't know what this next song is going to sound like, because this is Northside Southside with Hollow Man himself, Giggs. Such a Giggs beat. I love it because he's experimenting with flows. There's so many times in this album I'm like, you know what, I've never heard Meek try this flow, and not all of them work 100% of the time, but that's what you want from an artist. You don't want the same shit over and over again.
Niggas got bricks for cheapest, niggas got bits and pieces. Niggas just showing the weakest, man, just cook the weakest.
The funny thing with Giggs is that you know when a punchline is coming, he does the exact same things like, but it hits every time.
Attack it, that's that bitch. Pussy smells like fish. Hench, got them. Sheep smells like kiss.
I feel like I'm in a fucking dojo. I did quite like that one. I thought Meek Mill again was, you know, super dynamic and creative with what he was doing, but I was kind of disappointed by Giggs' feature, I'm not gonna lie. Next song is one I'm very excited for, because I think the last time these two artists were on a song together, it produced one of the best songs of 2021, which is That Go. This is We Slide with Young Thug. Okay.
Trying to watch away my sins, I've been doing dirt. If I press a button on you niggas going to church. all these niggas when it gets me, it just made me strong. And I don't need nobody help, I do it by myself.
Do you know what's crazy about this is literally the song's a minute in, and for about 30 seconds of that, I genuinely thought that this was Thug.
Without that ladder, I go up the fail where your dreams will get shattered. Bullets hit the window, all you sing was niggas scatter. It don't matter. Love my daddy. Me feeling like the realest nigga on this earth.
That's Thug.
Trying to wash away my sin cause I've been doing dirt. If I press a button on you niggas born in church. Lord, them niggas and them lizards niggas going to work. When we slide, we slide, we slide, we slide. This way the talk is on a FaceTime. Yeah, sliding that Lamborghini, sliding in Buick. This parquet clean, diamonds no cuties. My killing playing, yeah. Keep it Glock when I pray cause he won't save us. Yeah. They let a rat kill my neighbor. If I knew you would hate when I told my dog, do me a favor.
This is the thing, he's not just using his voice because he can use his voice. Like, when he gets to a particularly emotive bar or set of lyrics, his vocal inflection matches that. It's not just him contorting for the sake of it. There's intention behind it. Thug on a feature is 9 times out of 10 gonna be fire. Meek Mill, I thought, again, he clearly is super inspired by the likes of Young Thug right now, because he went into that song and he was like, do you know what? I want to do a Young Thug song. And he's not trying to hide or anything. I thought it sounded good. This next feature should be interesting. So this is Tweaking featuring Vori, who I'd never heard of until his feature on Donda on Jonah. I think it was Jonah, which I think might be one of the best features on that album. Sample sound a bit tasty.
I like the way you work it. Never met an angel that was perfect. I never met a demon that was perfect. They know the book 4 comes with amenities and the thing you feed. Your favorite model.
Those drums sound like Black of the Berry. It's Boy Wonder. It's Boy Wonder.
Energy. I just talked to Jeff, I told him strictly pesos. I just talked to Jeff, I told him strictly pesos. Old niggas hating on the young niggas, damn. Young niggas wildin' out, beefing on the grand. They loud, but the ritual is plain. I let it whisper to them. That 33 on me like Pippin and
fucking hell. This guy said something like, it's a little fish, I take your bitch for a swim. The jury loud, but the Richard Millie plain. I let it whisper to them.
When I had cops trying to lie on me, I could've case at 18, they still was putting time on me, but 3 niggas in the mix. Deep down in there where y'all niggas ain't allowed that. You ever wear Richard Millie with a wolves growl at?
Sample, amazing. Boy Wonder, amazing. Vori feature, amazing. Straight up boom bap shit with a modern edge. Meek Mill was going in. He had bars on bars on bars. I can't believe how consistent this album is.